It's me again. In this video, we are talking about global variables and a global keyword. Global variable and a global keyword, and as I mentioned in a previous video, list, tuples, all these things, they are basically will come more in a new video. You will understand better. But in order to explain the global variables, obviously we have to define a function. That's something I know you guys don't really know yet. So what we can do is, but the only way to explain it is that we have to, I have to show you now the global what function, how you show this, how you use it, and then you will understand better. But in the coming videos, then you will learn about function, how function works, and then you will know what we were talking here. It will definitely help you at that time. I've seen quite a lot of videos online YouTube and other online tutorials, but I did not see any of these things. Wherever you go, they just explain few things about a variable, just a basic variable, how it works. I'm trying to explain every possible way to define variable, how we can define them, how we can use them. So that way, because this is the base, if you understand this one very well, you keep in mind everything, and it will definitely help you in next coming videos, and then you will learn better. So first thing is a global variable. So the global variable is actually we use in a function. One is a local variable, one is a global variable. So the local variable is something we use inside the function. If you have a variable, then you can't use it anywhere else. But if you have a variable outside the function, which you can use, that calls global variables, and we can use anywhere in that program. We can just call them. So let's make one variable first. Then we would know x equal to awesome. So now we have one variable. So obviously, if we want to call this one, we just have to go simple. In the previous videos, whatever we learned, obviously they were all like global variables because they are outside, so they're not in a function. So you can just call them anytime. If you have like hundreds of codes of lines of codes, but and you if you're going to call x, it will call because it is a global variable. Now we are going to make local variable. So let's say we're going to define a function, so which is def my function. That's like a syntax. I know you might not understand what function is at this point, but just bear with me. In the next couple of videos, you will understand everything about function. So if we go print Python is, and now we just need to call function. So you can see now this is a global variable, so we can call it any time. Let me just write here. So you can call it anywhere. Variable, I spelled it wrong here, but so this is a global variable which we can call it anytime, anywhere. So now let's create another a variable. This thing here, this code, that call a function. Function, as I said, we will explain in the later videos, where you will understand better. So now we're going to create another variable just to show you a difference of what's local and what's the global variable. So for example, we're going to create another one, x equal to if we go just a fantastic. Okay. Okay, so now let's call this function. So what happens here now, Python is it says fantastic because you see this variable here, we created a variable which called a local variable inside the function. Local variable inside the function. So now you can understand, if you call it, it will print only use this one because this is inside the function. If you want to call the global one, which we can go print, and again we could just double quotes or single quote, Python is, then you put the plus sign, and then you put the X. So now let's see what happens. Okay, so now you see here the Python is fantastic. So here, first we have a function, right? This is a global variable. Then we have a Python, there's a function called myfunc. So in here we have a local variable, fantastic. And when you call the print and you call this function, it comes Python is X, so which is fantastic. So here it shows Python is fantastic. Um, Then you have another one, print Python is X, because now this print statement is actually out of the function. You see the function area is only this one. This one is out of the function, and when you call this one, so they actually global. As I said, global you can use anywhere in the program. So it actually calls this one. Okay, now you can see it calls that one, and then it shows Python is awesome. Again, let's do, if we just comment this one out, okay, and now you will see comment this one as well. Okay, now, so we have one variable and we have a function, and we call this variable global variable. We print this one and it says Python is awesome, because at the moment we don't have a local variable that we call the global one. So if in case we just comment this one out as well, and we bring this one in, so now we have only a local variable. So function by default it will call a local one. So now you see the Python is fantastic. It will call a fantastic. So now if we do this X, remove this one,